my name is Jaden, and this is part 2 of my testimony on Sunset Bay Academy and the troubled teen industry. These are the trigger warnings for this video, and if these are all good to you, then let's keep going. Also, I want to apologize for the glare, but unfortunately, I need my glasses to be able to read this screen, so you're gonna have to bear with me on that one. Okay, so once I got to the psych ward in Massachusetts, I was there for about a week, and I had talked to the workers on multiple different occasions. They asked me, like, what's going on at home, and I guess I had talked to my parents on the phone a few times, and every time I'd talk to the social worker, she just kept telling me to stop lying and that my parents were so respectful and so nice. And one second. Sorry. I wasn't believed at all. Except for the 2 nurses who came in every once in a while with food, checkups, stuff like that. They were the only people who I felt like I could really talk to there. But then again, also, it was just a week. So I was told that I could go to this place called Sunset Bay Academy. And it was told to me, oh, this is another boarding school. And I was just at a boarding school, so I thought it's a boarding school. When they told me it was a co-ed boarding school and that it had a pool, and they showed me pictures of this pool and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, cool, yeah, totally. I'll go, whatever. If I don't have to go home, whatever, I'll do whatever, as long as I don't have to go home. And so at the end of this week, these 2 people, they came to pick me up from the psych ward, and these were escorts or transporters, whatever you want to call them. Anyways, they were legally hired to pick me up, or kidnap me, I should say. It was a really big, scary dude and a woman. And the first thing the guy says to me, not, hi, how are you? We're gonna take you to this place. Nothing like that. He holds up a pair of handcuffs and goes, we can either do this the easy way or we can do this the hard way, and I'm allowed to hurt you. And so obviously at this point, I go along with him, and I'm like, yeah, whatever, I'll do whatever you want. I don't want to be hurt. And this is when I started to know, like, okay, something is definitely wrong. You don't get picked up with handcuffs to go to a boarding school. And I thought maybe this was, like, one of my parents' friends or something, and they really just wanted to make sure I get to the school and that I didn't try to run away again, because I had just run away, so that made sense in my mind. Anyways, I get into the car with them, and we drive to the airport. I don't have any recollection at all about what happened and how I ended up in Mexico. That is all very blocked out, and I've tried really hard to think about it, but I can't remember how I got there. The next thing I remember, I'm at the doors of Sunset Bay Academy. I had no idea I was in Mexico until I was inside the building, and then I put 2 and 2 together. But I immediately noticed that this was not the safe haven refuge place that I thought it was. Everyone spoke Spanish, and I had taken a few classes of Spanish in high school, and so I kind of knew, but I didn't know exactly what was going on or anything like that. But that's when I realized I was in Mexico. I was in a completely different country. But SBA is partnered with an organization called WASP. Well, I don't know how to pronounce it correctly, but WWASP. which is an organization that helps previous felons get jobs. And so there were a lot of creepy male staff. Majority of the staff were men, but there were some really creepy staff there. And I was sexually assaulted by 2 different male staff during my time at SBA, which I will get into, but I need to take a break. I'll be right back. The first time I was sexually assaulted, I was being restrained by a staff because I tried to help another kid get out of a restraint because they were being held down against their will, and this was someone I was close to, so I tried to help. Anyways, I got restrained by this male staff, and he had me laying down, stomach on the ground with my hands behind my back, and he was straddling me. He was on top of me, and I could feel his male part being enlarged into me. I don't know how to say that without TikTok trying to take it down, but I feel like you'll get the gist. And I was laying on the floor, and I was screaming, like, help, please, I'm being assaulted, help. And no one came. I tried to push him off, and another staff grabbed me like that and dragged me into another room, where I was then zip-tied by my wrists and my hands, as another student was there, which is probably was really difficult for them. And I just kept screaming. I remember just being so scared. And this was at the beginning of my time there too, so I didn't really know. Sorry. The second time, I was level 5, so I was an upper level, and when you're an upper level, you get to have some time to yourself after the lower levels go to bed. And I was giving myself a facial in the bathroom, and the staff, who everyone likes, kind of came into the bathroom, and he was a bigger guy, and he cornered me in the bathroom, and he started touching me inappropriately, and he pointed out that he knew that I had moved the video cameras so that I could change in the room without having to go to the bathroom every single time. He pointed out that he knew that we changed, or that I pushed up the cameras, and that if I tried to tell anyone, no one would believe me, and there would be no proof. And so I didn't scream, I didn't do anything. He eventually did leave. He was called or something, I don't know. I don't remember. I have it blocked out. He left, and I told the higher-up staff the next day, immediately. And I don't really know what happened after that. He didn't come back, but then I found out after I left he was a staff again there, which is definitely not okay, but, you know. And a lot of the students were really upset with me during this time because they believed that I snitched on him for passing notes, which was something we all did. But, yes. Sorry, I'm gonna end this one, go to part 3.